Tales of Mystria has come a long way since its early access launch 2 years ago, and now the 1.0 version is finally out. I know a lot of people have already put hundreds of hours in this game, but if you're completely new to the game, this video will help you get started on the right foot without giving away any spoilers. So you'll still have fun exploring a lot on your own. And if you've played this before but haven't touched it in a while, this can also work as a quick refresher to help you jump back in. Everything you'll see here, including all the game footage, are things you will encounter during your first week. Let's start with the first tip. The game saves automatically every time you go to bed, but you can also save manually using your journal, which is located right beside it. If you want to have duplicates or backups of your save files, it is important to save using your journal. Saving by going to bed will only create one save file, and this will be overwritten every time you go to bed again. But if you save through your journal, you will have the option to access those manual save files from your load game menu. For example, if I ever want to, I can go back to these days all the way to spring 1 because these are the times I saved through my journal. Another helpful feature you might miss is the ability to change daytime speed. Press escape, go to settings, then click on accessibility. There is an option here to make the daytime speed longer. At standard setting, days will be at around 12 to 13 minutes, choosing longer will set it to 14 minutes, and the longest will set it to 15 minutes. There is a note here that this may result in a less optimal experience, but if you just want to relax, take the game at your own pace, or explore more fully, you have this option to change it. The changes will apply starting the next day. If you've played a lot of other 2D farming sim games, you may not instinctively try this feature. But in Tales of Mystria, you can actually jump using your spacebar. It is very useful too. You can jump from cliffs, jump over fences and other obstacles, which actually makes clearing your farm easier. And you can even jump into the water. In fact, one of the things you can do right from the start is go diving for fish and other underwater creatures, which is an easy way to get some items even before you have all of your tools. Simply swim towards an area if you see any bubbles in the water, and press E to dive. You can change your character's clothes and looks at any time. If you press escape and go to character customization, you can click on this preset icon and add different presets. This means you can switch to entirely different outfits or character looks easily. Just remember that before you start editing, add a new preset first. Otherwise, you'll be editing your main look, so add a preset first, make your edits, and your old look will still be accessible from your preset list. You will start with just a limited set of tools, but most of the others unlock as you play and complete the early game quests, so just follow those. However, there are 2 tools you need to buy yourself. The first is the shovel, which can be bought from the general store for 500 gold, and the second is the fishing rod, which can be bought from the fisherman at the beach area and costs 500 gold as well. Getting a shovel isn't urgent because you will only need it if you want to expand your farmland. If you're wondering how to dig up these mounds on the ground, you can just use a pickaxe. So I'd recommend prioritizing the fishing rod over the shovel. Moreover, fishing is also a good way to earn money early in the game, but we'll talk more about money making later. Another thing you should immediately save up for is the backpack upgrade. At the start, you only have 10 inventory slots. And once you've unlocked most of your tools, those slots fill up very fast. The backpack upgrade can be bought from the general store and it costs 1000 gold, but it adds 10 more slots to your inventory, which is very much worth it. I think having the extra space is very convenient, especially if, like me, you don't like going back and forth to your farm. By default, holding down your mouse button won't continuously use a tool. You need to hold F on your keyboard to use it repeatedly. However, I recommend changing this, especially early game. Go to your menu, then Settings, then Controls, and scroll down until you find the option for Use Tool Repeated. I recommend setting the left mouse button to this function so you can hold it down while clearing your farm, chopping trees, or breaking boulders. The default is that this is set for charging tools, which requires upgraded tools, so you won't need that yet anyway. Once you have upgraded tools, you can choose which one is more convenient for you to have on your left mouse button. Personally, I still like to keep the left mouse button for using tools repeatedly, and I just press F to charge my tools. Stamina is used whenever you use any of your tools in this game, but don't worry about running out of stamina because you will not pass out. Your character just won't be able to use any tool. You will, however, pass out if you stay up until 2 a.m. If you do, you will wake up at 10 a.m. the next day instead of the usual 6 a.m. Moreover, you will only have 75% of your health and stamina. You can also pass out from the enemies in the mines, but you shouldn't be able to unlock that area this early in the game, so don't worry about it for now. Eating food will restore your stamina, and cooking food using the cooking table will give you more stamina and health recovery from it. The cooking table is accessible at the inn from the start, and you can use this at any time. Do be mindful that cooking uses up in-game time. A good early game snack you can make is trail mix, which you can cook using wild berries and water chestnuts, both of which can be obtained by foraging. Speaking of that, keep a close eye on forageables as you go around the map. These can appear on bushes, on the ground, and even in the water. Wild berries can be found everywhere on the map and are easy to hoard. Then water chestnuts are on the water and it's something you might miss. These are the two ingredients you need to cook the trail mix I mentioned earlier. These forageables respawn every 2 to 3 days depending on the type, so just collect them wherever you can. Even if your inventory is full, I still recommend clicking to collect them. This will trigger the respawn for that forageable to start its cycle earlier. Don't worry because items left on the ground will not despawn. They'll just stay on the ground so you can grab them the next day. If you ever want to swap an item out for another, you can simply equip it in your toolbar then press G to toss it. Keep in mind for the future that this does not apply when you're inside the mines. Items left there will despawn the next day. By the way, trees and boulders outside of your farm will respawn the next day, so it's fine to clear the entire area. Even if you leave just a tree stump, it will still regrow into a full tree the next day. I highly suggest that you keep at least 1 or 2 of every item you get in the game. You might need them for the museum, a villager quest, or other quests down the line. It is much better to have extras sitting around than to need something and not have it. The game also tells you this, but in case you missed it, items you need to donate to the museum will have the museum icon over here. It will have a check mark once you've donated something, so it's easy to keep the ones you need for the museum. For your crops, I recommend the same approach and keep 1 or 2 of each, but it's also important to ship at least 1 of each crop because when you do this, you will receive a cooking recipe the next day. Like I mentioned earlier, cooking food will increase the stamina and health recovery you get from it. However, this may not be the most profitable thing to do early in the game, so pay attention before cooking in bulk. For example, potatoes sell for 75 gold raw and baked potatoes sell for 80 gold. While its price increased by 5 gold, cooking still takes in-game time, so it might not be worth it. Cooking can be more profitable once you've unlocked certain skill perks, but early game, I don't recommend this for money making. Crafting and cooking in this game uses your global storage, meaning you can craft or cook items even if the ingredients or materials needed for it are inside your chests. Do note that if you don't want this to happen to some materials, there is an option in your chest to lock it so that its contents will not be used up when crafting or cooking. It's also worth checking out the other storage options in your chest menu. There's an option to sort your storage, put icons at the top of the chest, and put similar items together. There's also some other inventory management shortcuts in here that are really handy. Now let's talk about how to actually make money this early in the game. Rank up rewards will sometimes give you gold. Just don't forget to claim your rewards from the chest beside the town board. Moreover, some of the things you need to do to rank up your town will also give you gold. To rank up your town, you can complete requests from the request board, donate items to the museum, and ship items. There is no limit to how many requests you can accept from the board, so just accept everything here. You can buy seeds from the general store right from day 1. You don't have to rely only on whatever crops the game initially gives you. Planting more early on means more crops to ship sooner, which will give you gold and rank up your town. Just be mindful of your stamina and only plant as many as you can handle watering every day. Fishing is another profitable early game activity. You can get a decent amount of money from selling this. Just make sure to donate the fish with a museum icon to the museum. Here is one useful trick. Fishing costs 12 stamina, but if you have less than 12 stamina left, the game will still let you fish. So even if you're down to 1 stamina, you can still cast your rod and catch a fish. This is where wild berries become useful. You can easily gather hundreds of these on your first week, and they only sell for 1 gold each, so they are not great to sell, but they do restore 1 stamina. So when you are fishing and your stamina hits 0, eat a wild berry and fish again. Then eat another berry and keep going. You can keep fishing for a long time this way, which makes wild berries much more valuable as a stamina source than as a sellable item. If any of tips have been useful so far, consider leaving a thumbs up to help this video reach more people. All the stores in Fields of Mystria are self-service, so you don't need to worry about shop hours. Whether you show up at 6 a.m. or 11 p.m., you can still access the general store, the inn menu, and all the other merchants. No need to rush back to town before closing time. Lastly, I highly recommend talking to all the NPCs in this game. Not only are their dialogues interesting, but they also sometimes give you genuinely useful gameplay tips and information. They might tell you about things you can use or claim in the town, some events coming up, and more. Some NPCs will even tell you what their favorite gift is or hint at what another villager likes. Make sure to note this down because a villager's liked or loved gifts won't appear in your relationship tab until you've actually given them that item. So if an NPC tells you what they like, write it down or remember it, then give it to them so it gets logged in your journal. Also, there's no gift limit per week, so you can give NPCs something every single day to build relationships faster. If you have any other spoiler-free early game tips for new players, feel free to share them in the comments so everyone can benefit. There's a lot more to discover in this game, and if you want more in-depth guides, do let me know in the comment section.